Welcome to Piano Video Lessons. I'm Lisa, and in this lesson, we're working on playing the Bouree by Graupner. This is a grade 1 level Baroque piece, and we're working in Unit 9 at pianovideolessons.com. It's also Unit 2 of Year 2. In this lesson, we're going to be refining and improving the piece. In lesson number 1, we started to learn it, and we worked on notes, rhythm, and fingering, and all of the evidence of it is on this page here. You can click the info card to come on over to pianovideolessons.com, where you can get the ebooks for Unit 9, which include all of the pieces in this unit, as well as a sheet on the characteristics of Baroque music, a study sheet for this Bouree, and the practice plan worksheet. So in this lesson now, we're going to be working on improving the dynamics and the articulation and keeping the tempo steady in this piece. There are probably a few areas in this piece where you are hesitating on your beat. So let's look at that first. Let's go through this, combing through it. I'll make a few mistakes along the way to show you how you could fix those if you're having some errors. So we'll start off at the beginning. Let's say I'm just going to try to play through the first 2 lines. We'll see if there's an area where it's a struggle to get these notes in time without stopping. So we're working here on steady tempo. And here I go. So I'm going to count. And 1 and 2, and a 1 and 2. And right here, and 2, and 1, and a 2. So there's a lot happening right there. We've got to move into the flat, and then we've got to reach. Oh yeah, I was going to make mistakes. I just told you where the mistake would be, but it would probably be right there. So you want to make sure that you're practicing that little tricky part. And that involves this measure here, and this measure. So we're just going to isolate that little section and practice it. So if you want to, you can write in the finger that you'll be using to play here. So this is going to be a 3, reaching down to a 1, and then left hand is playing a 2. And you can just extrapolate that back from the last finger that you had written in. So we're going to have this 2 on F and 3 on D, and reaching in. Now here, you want to move back and forth between this little tricky bit here. And now let's back it up. And there it is. And adding 1 note. So I'm backing it up again. Tricky bit and adding a note. Now I have to also reach. I guess if I'd used a 3, I wouldn't have had to. So go from, and here's that tricky bit. I feel like I used the wrong finger on that before. It's 4 to 3, 4 to 3, and 1 to 3. So again from here. And keeping on going and crossing over. Again, same spot. And then here, that might not be too bad because we've really got that part really nailed because we practiced it really hard in the first lesson. All right, and the next line is very similar. So much of this is going to feel the same. And here's that thing we just practiced, so we don't really need to work on it now. All right, so that's not too bad. Now let's go to the next section. So one thing that might be tricky right off the bat is moving ourselves from this position into the new position for that next line. So we've just finished with something like, and then this hand has to come up, and then this one also has to come up. So both hands are changing positions here. We're moving our 4 up to D, and we're moving our 2 up to E. So we need to prepare that. Let's start thinking about it while we're still doing this. We're thinking right's moving, and then right has moved, then we move the left on the next beat. And then we've got that black key in there, so we want to make sure that we get that as well. And then we're changing from black to white. This is the hardest line. This will be the hardest line to keep steady. So we're going to practice from back here, going from 1 down, hop the right and left, and look out for the flat. And then the left hand might play a wrong note, because see what happens sometimes is we're busy concentrating on the thing that is was hard, and then something weird happens that we don't pay attention to the other hand. Well, that's not weird at all because we're thinking about this one, but this other one gets its own mind of what to play. So we're thinking about this and something else happens wrong there. Oftentimes the mistake you make is not the thing that's hard. So this is what we need to also think about. Coming back from here, the reason you make a mistake that's not hard is because you're thinking about the hard thing. So here we're coming down from D. Now we hop up and we play. And then here's the hard thing, but we're going to stay with our 1. And then we're going to go to that sharp and down to that sharp. So in this case here, we're playing C on the white key, B on the flat, and then B on the white key, C on the sharp. So we've got a bit of some changeability happening here. This is called a melodic minor scale, and we'll learn about those in grade 2, which starts in unit number 11. Which I have not made yet, but maybe by the time you're seeing this video, it will be the future, and you will be able to find that right away. So here we go, and we're moving our 4 up and our 2 up, and we're doing the part with the flat, but we're still playing finger 1 in the left. And then we switch the black keys and the white keys. So again, this is the tricky thing, switching the black key and the white key, but you might play a wrong thing in the left hand. So you want to make sure you play the right thing in the left hand. So you comb through it again and see if that is now fixed. So you'll have, now we're moving our 4 up and our 2 up, and then here's that tricky thing where we're still staying on finger 1 and 1 again. Okay, maybe we got all the stuff now. So just keep that slow and improve it so that you'll be able to just play it on beat with all the tricky things. And this is a lot like before. So we probably got most of that, and we could easily play that at the end with that small change. So work on it so that you can play the whole thing with your counting steady all the way through, pulling it apart and fixing any tricky bits. Now also we want to talk about dynamics and articulation. This piece has no dynamics written in it whatsoever. That's because in the era that this piece was written, there would not have been any dynamics included. The instruments at the time couldn't easily change dynamics, but we get to add our own. So let's think what we might like to do here. Maybe we'll just start off sort of normal at the beginning. Maybe like mezzo forte. And then maybe we want to get more forceful here. Then maybe we want to go quietly. And then back to the same as it was at the beginning. So each new line, I chose a new dynamic. Now, this piece also repeats at the end of line 2. So you could change the dynamics on the second time through. So you could start normal the first time. And then be loud here. Then repeat, maybe extra quiet. And then maybe loud. Whatever you think. Now the next section, maybe we'll go quiet the first time. And then maybe, since we're going to be repeating this again, maybe we'll just go mezzo forte. Now we repeat, maybe we'll go really quiet. And then really loud. So it's up to you to decide how these dynamics can go, but you can go ahead and write in your own and perform it whichever way you like. Now we also want to make sure that we have the articulation accurate. Now, we've been talking about articulation in Baroque music for a while now, if you've watched all of these lessons, because this is the final one. And one of the aspects of Baroque music, excuse me, is that we use a detached touch between the notes. That's just because the instruments of the time didn't have long sustaining notes. So if we have quarter notes, we're going to lift between them. Lift, 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 lift. And then for the eighth notes, we're going to join. So it'll be lift, 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 join and lift, 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 join and lift. So very few notes in this section, in this piece, will be joined. We'll join here, we'll join here, we'll join here, and we'll join here. Everything else can have a lift, an up, up, up sort of sound to it. The left hand, at the grade 1 level, really only worry about these ones. The rest of them, you can slightly lift them, or you can connect. Whatever is more comfortable for you. But these quarter notes definitely lift off of those. So listen to see how that goes. We have lift. You can hear them lifting. And then lifting the right, holding the left, lift, join and lift, 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 join and lift. Now, I'm not playing staccato. I'm not playing. Staccato is much more crisp. I'm just lifting. This is called portato or portamento. Two different words for the same thing. So listening for those lifts in between the notes is important in a Baroque style piece. Dynamics, articulation, steady tempo. So I'm going to play this piece through for you once. I'm going to use variable dynamics in a terraced style. I'm going to detach my quarter notes, and I'm going to play with steady tempo. So I'll play this through for you, and you can practice it and join me back in the next video where we're going to be working on playing the piece as a performance.